Whoever said the second mouse gets the cheese must not have met Last Ronin Splinter. Even though he loses in the end, he doesn't give up without a fight. In addition to the spine, one thing special to note about this box is it does give us a sneak peek of the Donatello Last Ronin figure, which I know a lot of people have been asking for, so enjoy that much until we get the real figure release. And here's that Splinter out of the package with all the accessories. Again, we don't get a ton of stuff, but what we do get is looking good. We get a nice gold scabbard. It's somehow shiny and matte at the same time, has some nice line detail and a little rubber rope at the end. The sword that goes with it has a nice silver blade and some nice details up at the handle. A few more comic-y looking lines up at the wrap, but not too much. And of course, as expected, it fits in that sheath with ease. I didn't see a way to attach it to the figure though. Next, every good Splinter figure comes with a good stick, and this is a pretty good stick, I guess. It's about the same length as the sword, so maybe it's a good, practice tool. I don't know. Now for the swappable parts, we do get these alternate forearms, which is kind of unique. They have a bit more tattered edges. It's kind of hard to see at first glance, but they are different, and we get a different set of hands in kind of a fighting pose. We also get a variety of grips and fists. As for the overall style of the figure, I think it's looking really good. At first I was kind of thrown off by the brown color of the pants. It kind of made it look like it was Splinter's fur. But once you look a little bit more closely, the colors really complement each other. It's really looking nice. We have a pretty unique tail in the back with some comic lines on that to give it some more detail. I like how his robe is inspired by the original cartoon with those emblems on the side and the red color, but they add a lot of that gold detail on the shoulders and on the back. Really cool detailed sculpt for Splinter's head, and it even has a few scars on the side. The whiskers and ears are pliable so you won't break them. He has these extra long feet with extra joints like we've seen on Wolfman Raph, and they look really good and really authentic, but I always have trouble standing these things. I think I just need a little bit more practice. They can definitely support the weight if you get it just right, but I ended up having to use the tail for balance pretty much every time. It still looks good and it adds a little bit more security on the shelf. Next, we'll swap out those forearms. These new ones just have a very subtle, little bit more rustic look to them, and I think I'm going to stick with these. Splinter figures aren't usually known for a ton of articulation, but I think this one might be changing the mold. Of course, we have all those possibilities in the feet with the toe joint and the ankle, and the lower leg can get out pretty far as well. The arm goes straight out, but not any further up, and we do get that double elbow so we can get some more poses. The head doesn't go up all that much, but it can look down pretty far, which is pretty cool. You can definitely get some sad-looking poses with that. And if you want a little Freaky Friday action, you can turn that head 360 degrees around if you wanted to. Careful not to make him too dizzy. Speaking of full circles, you can move the tail all the way around as well, so I think with it being so long, you could really add to some of your poses and scenes in toy photography. I think this one could go a long way. Once I get the balance right without relying on the tail, I think it can look really cool. Here he is holding the accessories. I just got the stick in one hand and the scabbard in the other. There are plenty of different gripping hands available, so you should be able to accommodate whatever you want to do. When we do some comparisons, you'll see how much this design stands out from the crowd. Here's the original movie Splinter, then my old favorite, the Toon Splinter, a classic design that is hard to beat. It's always funny to see just how short this new Mirage Splinter is, but I still love it. And someone's been asking to see Van Helsing Splinter. I think it stacks up pretty well with this one. Both very unique and stylized in their own ways. Next, we'll compare him to some other figures from the line. Here he is next to Last Ronin Leonardo. Next, we'll put him next to that namesake of the series, the original Last Ronin figure. And last one for today, the standard version of Raphael. I messed around with posing just a little bit. He can hold the scabbard and pull out the sword, which has some cool possibilities. Of course, you can look all the way down to see what he's doing. Very nice. You'll need a stand or a clever use of the tail to get a kick, but it's possible. And here he is in a possible scene you could do with the two other brothers looking for a battle. But my favorite so far is him pulling out that sword. I just wish I would have done something more interesting with his tail. And that's it for Last Ronin Splinter. If you're seeing this when it posts, you can get it off the NECA website, but it should be hitting normal stores soon. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, Casey Jones is coming soon.